What a treat I have for you guys today. Thank you so much for tuning back into MTD CNC North America. I am with my buddy Dan. We're going to learn a little bit more about Dan today, where he comes from, the history, and his great adventure here at Methods Machine out on the West Coast in California. So Dan, thank you so much for being a part of MTD. I really look forward to sharing your story.
Thank you for inviting me. It's good to be here. Thank you.
Well, I know that you've been doing this since the age of 13, guys, and you lived in Florida for a little while. You bounced from Nebraska and California, but you grew up in the Huntington Beach area, and you're super familiar, starting at 13 years old, with machines across the board in the industry as a whole, being a manager of a machine shop, I believe. But I'm going to let you share your story. I'm not going to steal all your thunder because you know your story better than I do, but I can't wait to learn from it.
Yeah, I started in this industry when I was very young. I was 13 years old, pulling chips for a German machine shop. Kind of continued on through elementary or junior high and high school. Got my first real job my senior year of high school, working 8 hours a day in a machine shop and going to school full time. Did that for about 9 years. And then at the age of about 26, I decided I don't want to be around a machine anymore. Wanted to go into sales. Didn't know what I wanted to sell, just knew it wasn't shoes, but I wanted to sell something. Walked into a machine shop, lo and behold, was a machine company named Republic Lagoon. This was about 1990, 1989, and I started selling machines. So lo and behold, in my 40 plus years of doing this, I've never been out of a machine shop.
Let me start where you left off in high school and just go, we could sure use more of you right now in this industry, starting in high school and coming into this. Incredible. So share a little bit more about your journey along the way. You've worked in machine shops, you went into sales, you've been across the country and probably even across the world learning about some of the expert machinery that's around us right now at Methods.
Correct, yeah, I've been very fortunate in my career. As I said, I started back in the early days of machining when tape punch machines were in. So I learned how to program a tape punch machine. I moved up to actually selling equipment, and I've got to be very fortunate. I traveled through Europe, I traveled through the Middle East, I've traveled through Asia, all in the name of machine tools. So it's a blessing. I've been fortunate to bring my wife along with me on some of these trips. And at times, yeah, it's frustrating, but it's fun. It's very rewarding.
I couldn't agree with you more, my friend, and having the opportunity to travel as well and feeling some of those frustrations, but the rewards totally outweigh that. So knowing your experience, age 13, all through the industry, now you're with Methods, what do you believe this wisdom brings to Methods here on the West Coast?
Well, to be quite honest, I think with the 30 plus years of dealing with high-tech equipment, coming to Methods with the product line they have, with the Nakamura, with the RoboDrill, with the Yazda, with the RoboCut, with the Methods brand product, with the Kiwa product, I think that the knowledge that I bring is just my world of experience, just being around the world and learning different products from different manufacturers that I've had the pleasure of working for. Bringing that to Methods here is going to help us enhance our knowledge with the sales force and then enhance sales in the company.
A couple of things I gather from you, Dan, just instantly right away getting to know you, is a vast amount of wisdom throughout the years of learning and paying attention and growing. But what I think you also bring that I value very much is a sense of pure direction and education, bringing people together, making sure your customers are always communicated with, the machines, you know how to work with those. It really is, for me, a top to bottom type of person that you are, understanding how the whole industry works as a whole.
Right. You know, as we spoke earlier, two things are very critical, and that's integrity and ethics. And if you bring that into your customers on a day-to-day basis, you're honest with them, you tell them good or bad, but just be honest and truthful and pick the phone up and correspond with them, you're going to go far in this industry. And I had a mentor many years ago, and he taught me one thing: Dan, treat people how you want to be treated, whether you're doing disciplining them or you're praising them. Do it as if you were in their shoes, how you would want that case to be done to you. So.
Beautifully said, and so true. And it's simple, right? We grow up learning those lessons, right? Do it to others as you'd like to do unto you, right? You know, this is something we know, but applying these ethics in business, sometimes we forget, and to stay true to ourselves like you do, and to keep those ethics and to keep that authenticity, that's why people connect with you, I believe. And not just that, but you're a family man as well. You mentioned to me, I lived in Florida for a little while. I came home to my family, and people here in California, they like hearing that as well. We like being a part of a family environment.
You know, as we spoke earlier, you know, going to Florida in 2015, the end of 2015, I never thought there would be life outside of the state of California. I never did. Lo and behold, there is life outside of the state of California. But you know, 5 years later, 5.5 years later, being offered the position to come to Methods to help them out, to help grow the business on the West Coast, I got to come home. Some people don't get that opportunity. Here again in my career, I got another great opportunity to not only work for a good organization, an established organization, but to come home, be with my wife's family, be with my family, be with my daughter who's never left California. So it's a welcome thing in my life. So
yeah, absolutely. I love hearing those types of stories because humanizing the industry is a very important thing to do. We talk about machines all the time, but getting to know you better, those messages, I can receive them because they come from you in a very meaningful way. So thank you for sharing that. As far as Methods, the next year, 5 years, 10 years, I don't think they could have picked a better person to come out here to the West Coast than you, my friend Dan. But where do you see and develop and grow out here on the West Coast from what you've seen so far?
So our goal going forward with Methods is we're in a growth spurt in this organization, and our goal is to grow this business twofold, and that's my goal. I pride myself on without being too bold, I pride myself just on the knowledge I bring to the company, the respect I bring to the salespeople I have working for me, and the whole organization. And we're going to grow this organization. Our goal in the next 2 to 5 years is to be double the sales output we are now, to grow our sales force, to grow our organization here, to double the size of this facility, and to double the size of the facility in our other locations. So that's kind of what I'm looking forward to, our next 5-year vision. I don't plan on retiring no time soon. Our 5-year vision, our 5-year plan is to double sales here in the California market.
Great goals. I like them, and I certainly believe it's possible. When we think about Methods, I think about the fact that there's turnkey centers and the ability to support customers that way. I think about being across the nation and having that support, a massive amount of inventory and parts ready to be received and shipped out. The fact that you guys now do financing as well for your customers, so there really is the full gambit of opportunity for you to have that growth here out west.
Right, yeah, we're just not just a distributor that just sells machine tools. We offer a full solution. So from financing to turnkey to placement on the floor to stand behind the customer and support him as he grows his business. At the end of the day, if a customer is not growing, you're not going to grow with them. And that's our goal, is to stand behind the customer.
And Dan, as a part of this massive plan that you have of growth and expansion, the great support that you have across the country, I can only imagine the amount of support that you want to offer your customers, the amount of service you want to offer your customers here on the West Coast.
Yeah, so that's what we've done. We've brought in a new guy who's going to be our new service manager. We're kind of teaching him to do that now. We've hired a couple additional service techs. We're presently looking for some additional service because at the end of the day, look, we all know a sales guy can sell machine number 1, but service and support sells machine number 2. So yes, that is a big part of our business. Service, service, service.
Well, Dan, you are amazing. I really appreciate you sharing everything with the global audience here at MTD CNC. I wish you all the success from MTD. I know you're going to do great and really, really appreciate you, my friend.
Thank you, Tony. Appreciate it. Appreciate it. Thank you.